Hello, welcome to the demo of CSCI 572 Homework 3. This is the homework regarding the data visualization of all the temporal and geographic data using D3, Banana and Facet View. So this is our initial homepage from where you can go to Banana, Facet View or any of the D3 queries. So first let's start with Banana. So if I go to Banana, I click on Banana button, it opens up at the dashboard or Banana dashboard. So we have configured it for giving us the team 22 rename and all that stuff. And this is our first query. Uh, and what we have plotted is uh, the geographic regions and in which there are oil and iron and natural resources present. So if you just hover around any of the countries, you will see uh, the number of documents in which the country has a mention. So you will see a cluster of the cluster of documents having mention United States of America as the country. Similarly, there is a case of Australia and Alaska as well. So this is what we have on the geographic region map. Then we also have a table consisting of all the events, which the events are basically the fields that we have used for indexing. So if I just sort using countries, say, so it will show me it is still loading. So it will show me all the documents having the different country names. So till it loads, I go down. If I go down, we have plotted a tag cloud of all the locations. So this tag cloud basically signifies the word, the country word, and the significance of those locations. So when you see United States in blue, bold, and orange, it simply says that United States has a wide mention over all other countries and locations. So we also have the temporal data, like the dates on which the document, the different dates in which the documents are present. So what we have plotted here is the date, the date, the date which is mentioned in the different documents, the count of the dates mentioned in the different documents. Okay, so yeah, these are the different dates and the counts, the respective counts of those dates. Okay, if I go down, we also have plotted the distribution of the countries over all the documents that we have indexed. So if I just hover around, it says that 694 documents have mention of United States in those documents. Similarly, we have France, Italy, Australia, Japan, and all those countries. The last one, what we have is the content type distribution. So here are the various content types that we came across over all of our documents. So like you can see, text HTML is the mostly used content type. Then we also have some image and some application XHTML documents. We also have text HTML using different character encoding. So this is what we have on the Banana dashboard. Yeah, so the results are up for the countries on the events table. So you can see that the countries are mentioned in the different documents. You see same countries mentioned in an array because it simply got mentioned twice in that array. Yeah. So this is what we have on Banana front end. So if we move to facet view, say, yeah. So here is our facet view, and yeah, if I just put in a query natural resources, sorry, okay, if I just search it, it's loading. Yeah, here we have defined the facets like different countries. We also have cities. We also have temporal dates for which the documents have been mentioned. Yeah, so the results are up. So these are the various countries in which the documents are present. So if I just go inside one of the countries, then it fetches the documents which has the mention of that country. Yeah, and if I just click on any of the documents, you will see um, yeah, mention of Italy in the countries column, and this is the content of that particular document. There are a lot of new line characters. That's why you have this much of space. Yeah, so this is what we have on facet view. You can simply type in any query and it will filter out the facets for you based on temporal data and countries and cities. So again, for dates, if you apply the filter, it will filter out the results based on the filtered country and the temporal date. Yeah, so this is pretty much about facet view. Let's move to D3. So we have four of the queries defined for D3. So if I go through the first one, what time-based trains exist for discussion of oil, iron, and other natural resources in the Arctic region? So we have kind of plotted two graphs for that. Let me click on the first one. Yeah, so the map is loading. Yeah, so this is the location map which shows the distribution of oil and iron resources all over the world from the documents. So see if I simply minimize just to get a view of all the all over the world. Yeah. So most of the uh, mentions are from United States, like you can see. Here is a cluster of locations as well. Yeah. Let me just minimize a little bit more so we can have. So I just wanted to show you the cluster of locations which are surrounding the Gulf area, because that's where we find most of our oil repositories. So it is taking a bit of time to load because of the internet connection. Yeah, so it's right over here, the Gulf countries here. So you see a cluster of dots which signify that the the presence of oil repositories and mentions of that in the documents, like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and all that. Yeah, this is what we have on the map. And if you see the second one, this shows that the same thing, but uh, in a different chart. The same thing, like it shows that Iraq has the most number of oil repositories as well. So this score is for oil, and yeah, United States has been mentioned quite a while about the oil and the iron repositories as well. So this is like all the countries against the number of documents mentioning oil, iron, or any other natural resources. Yeah. So if you move to the second query, it asks like how many regions of interest are represented by data you collected. So if I just go to the map, so what we have here is pretty much all the countries, but the countries are color coded based on the number of times it got mentioned. So like you see here, United States and say Iraq has been mentioned more or less the same number of times, and the same goes for India and Kazakhstan and Mongolia. Yeah. So this is the world map showing the distribution of all the countries which we got from the documents. We also have one more map for it. This is a dendrogram which shows the location clusters. So this is our root, which is a location cluster, and then it starts with all the countries, and those countries are then mapped to the documents in which the mention of the countries were there. So this is what we have. This is called as dendrogram. Yeah. Okay. Let's move to the third query. Can you predict areas in which there are national security interest? Okay. So just so here's a world map which shows the countries in which the documents have been mentioning and talking about air, land, any of the national security interests. So again, there is a cluster of countries. There's cluster of dots surrounding the area of Alaska and United States. So we also have the links that lead to the particular Google page for that region. So if I click on Ice Bay, so Ice Bay, okay, it's right over here. I picked the Ice Bay from Alaska, and it leads me to the homepage, Google homepage of that. So yeah, we have this play plotted all over the world. So this tells that the data is pretty much distributed. Yeah. So we have predicted all the national security interest regions. Then the next one is the fourth one is there a trend which with respect to science data and measurements related to climate change? So we have a map which signifies the change in climate, which is the melting of ice sheets. So if you see, we have plotted the dates against the number of times the dates got mentioned in the document. So if you see here, we have 2013 0714. So the peak here signifies that uh, most of the documents were talking about sheet ice melting and decline in the sheet ice uh, round about 2013 0714. So this is what this map signifies, and there are also some little peaks here, and the rest of the map is pretty much flattened. Yeah. So we have plotted the number of documents against the dates. Yeah, I think this is what we have. So I'm Kunal. I'm signing off for Team 22, and this is the homework 3. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.